My name is DECAP, and in this video, I'm going to be giving you a sound design tutorial on how to make 808s in FL Studio. So right now we have FL Studio 20 loaded up. So the first thing I'm going to do is open up the channel rack, and then we're going to load up, let's start with a Harmor. I'm going to show you how to make 808s in Harmor first. Okay, so the first thing you're going to do is go to presets, and you're going to load a default preset. And that's what it sounds like. So the first thing to do once you load up the default is you're going to turn down the frequency, which is going to cut out a lot of the high frequencies. And then you're going to take the sub and turn it all the way up. So you can, and feel free to play around with the frequency knob, mess with it, anything is possible, but this is just one possible way to do it. So immediately we have a sub bass. Super fast. The next thing you want to do is you can mess with your ASDR shaping. So what this does is this is going to shape your waveform. So with 808s, one way you can do it is by reducing the attack. So that way there's not like a pop at the beginning. In this case, there's not a pop in the beginning, so you can just keep it full on. And then your release is another important thing. Do you want the 808 to cut off immediately? If you do, you can turn the release all the way down. So it's like this. When you let go of the key, the note cuts off immediately. Another thing you do is drag this out. So when you let go of the key, it sounds more like this. Oh, wait. Let's try that. Okay, I just had to turn that on. So now you can play with it. You can, do a short release or a longer one. So in this case, let's do a shorter one. So right now, this is the shape of our 808. So then the next thing I like to do in Harmor is go into the effects and mess with the distortion. So remember, you can play with any of this and come up with your own unique sound, but this is just something I like to do. So let's try classic distortion. Here's your amount, and here's your filter. So those are the two we're going to mess with right now. So as I turn up the amount, you can see how it starts to shape the 808 with distortion. We're going to turn this frequency down a little more. So as I turn the filter down, it's going to filter down the sound. It's going to cut off the highs. So that's what classic, and that's what classic distortion sounds like, and you have all of these to play with. So depending on the sound you're going for, trying the different distortions will give you different results. And see, that one's kind of sharp, but if you turn down the filter, you can start to tame the transients a little bit, tame the distortion a little. Soft sad is a cool one. So in other words, just play around and see what sounds best for your track and for your ears. Sometimes it can be great to design your 808s and not use them out of kits because every track is different and every track might call for a different sound. So you can really get in there and shape it exactly how you want to. So then let's try a chorus. So that can give you a wider effect to your sound. So that's how you make an 808 in Harmor. Now let me show you how to do it in Sytrus. Okay, so we're going to replace this with a Sytrus plugin. So we're going to load up the default preset, start from scratch. So I'm going to turn the pitch all the way down to get a nice deep note. And then the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go to operator 1. And so here, same thing, you can start to shape your sound. So right now it has a pretty steep attack. That's what's giving it that fade in. So we're going to turn this down. As you can hear now, there's a little bit of a click when you first play the note. So we're going to take this back a little bit, so it's a little smoother. And then let's make the release a little longer. So when the sound cuts out, it kind of fades out. All right, so now we have the shape of our sound. So as you can see here, this is the oscilloscope. This is showing us the shape of the waveform. And then these dials is where you can start to have fun. You can start to shape the waveform differently. So this is a sine wave, just a very basic sine wave. If I turn this up, you can see you get a square wave here and a triangle here. So see what it does. So just mess around with these knobs till you get something you like. That's pretty dope. What's cool is every time you mess with one knob and you mess with another, you get a totally different effect. So from here, whatever you do in Harmor or Sytrus, that's just kind of the beginning. From here, you can go in and start adding effects. So one effect I like is, really you could just add an EQ on it. So in this case, the top end sounds good, but I might want to boost that bottom end a little bit. You can start with just the synth and then go to effects, EQ, distortion, phaser, whatever. Just be creative and have fun. Another approach, if we start from scratch again with a Sytrus, what you can do is you can just go back to default, shape your sound again. So now we're back with just a sub, just a sine wave. And what you can do is you can just start adding effects. Like one plugin I really like is a fast distortion. And instead of messing with the oscilloscope parameters here, you can mess with the fast distortion. You can play around with the shape of the waveform here. You can mess with the dry and the wet, the parallel compression here with the mix knob. So that's one way to do it. You can even stack effects. You can have the fast distortion and then throw an EQ on it. So really, the sky's the limit. Just have fun with it. Another plugin besides fast distortion that I like is the wave shaper. So we'll turn off the EQs. So now we have just a sine wave. Literally, one thing I do sometimes is just turn it up all the way. Just that default setting sounds great. So another thing, you can add a flangus to it. Now that I showed you these basics, use your knowledge and use what you know about these plugins to create a totally different 808 sound that's not out there. Take your sound design skills that I give you in this video and in my other videos and really learn how to find your own sound through playing with these tools. Do something different out of the norm. If this is helpful to you, be sure to hit that subscribe button below and click the bell for notifications. Make sure you follow me on all social media. Leave a comment below and let me know what inspired you most about this video. Stay tuned for more sound design videos and production videos. Peace.